Hey ladies, this is Sharon here. This is a quick video. I've had some questions that were coming in about how long should you be keeping your makeup. I know a lot of us are purging out all of our summer stuff and getting ready for new fall makeup. I know I am. And so I thought I would just sit here and go through a video and let you know how long you should keep your makeup, when should you dispose of it. Remember, I told you at one time when I had started a new storage thing, I had thrown out some in there. It kind of has a rancid type of smell to it sometimes when it's not good. But I want to break it down into total sections for you. For instance, let's talk about foundations. And I'm talking about cream here and liquid foundations. I would say no longer than 6 to 12 months is what they're good for. After that, they're going to start separating. They're going to turn color sometimes. They will oxidize later on you if it's older, and it won't go on as smoothly, and they have an odor to them. That is how you know about your foundations. Never, never, never keep any foundations longer than 12 months, and I would venture to say 6 if at all possible. The next thing that I have are lipsticks. Everybody knows I have tons and tons of lipsticks, like I'm sure you do too. Your lipsticks are good for 12 to 18 months. Now, the way you can tell when you really, like I threw away 2 lipsticks this morning, and I had never used them before, but they kind of get an oil around the tube, kind of gets an oily look. That's when you know it's bad. Sometimes they'll crack, and then if you smell them, okay, and they kind of have a weird smell to them, kind of a rancid type smell, then you know it's time to pitch them. So don't keep lipsticks any longer than that at all. Because I will tell you one thing, when you pick out an older lipstick, not only can it be gooey, that oil around it, but when you try to use it, it will skip and it'll be pushing your skin. It gets kind of hard. So don't hang on to that. The next thing is powders. Now, I'd say powders, especially loose powders, 2 years, girlfriend, okay? They're good for at least 2 years. They have a long, long life there because they are more of a loose powder, even pressed powders. But as soon as you start seeing the top of the layer on a pressed powder, kind of like a blush, when it kind of gets that oily look or cakey look on top, kind of a slick look, you can try scraping the top of it away, and then you might still be able to get some use out of it. But if not, you want to pitch it. Okay, just pitch it. I know I had one Milani, and I'd used it so much I knew dipping it back in, putting it on, dipping it back in, probably got some oil mixed on top of it. I could scrape the top of it and I was good to go, but there was another one that I kept scraping, the same thing was all the way down. So I had to end up pitching it. So you can just about figure 2 years is as far as you're going to go with powders. Now, the eyeliner pencils are fantastic. I'd say 2 years. Now, if they're a gooey gel type pencil, you might have to pitch them sooner than that, okay, because they're going to dry out on you. But you'll know when a pencil is ready because it starts skipping all over the place and it gets real hard to push, and you don't want to do that to your eye or your waterline or anything. So I'd say 2 years on eye pencils. Now, the big kahuna is mascara. Oh my gosh, I'll tell you, mascara needs to be replaced every 3 months, faithfully every 3 months. And let me tell you why. You're opening that tube, that popping motion, you're using it on your eye, stick it back in your tube, you go over to your other eye, you might go back in and give it several rounds by dipping it back in your tube. Every time you pull it out, you're getting a lot of bacteria on that tube. It's all in the air, it's everywhere. And people that pump, that mascara tube, boy, you're a big old mess, and you're going to have to replace it earlier than 3 months. So you want to watch that. You don't want to get mascara, full of bacteria and keep using it on your eyes. You're going to end up with an eye infection. Same way with these pencils and things. You got to be really careful with it. So once you start seeing them get clumpy too, you want to get rid of it. That is a surefire sign when a mascara is ready to just ditch it, baby. It's when you notice it starts getting clumpy. I threw away a Chanel, as a matter of fact, 2 days ago with the same problem. All right, the next thing I'd say, paint pots, some of the gels that go on your eyes, like eyeliner gels, those need to be definitely 6 months. And let me tell you something about the ones that are in pots, eyeliners and paint pots, you know, for MAC, for instance. When they dry up around the edge, and they crack around the edge, and then finally they kind of crack in the middle. Even though you may be able to take your brush and round up enough to put on your eye or what have you, I am telling you that is no good anymore. Get rid of it and go buy a new one. Okay? So ladies, be real careful about this, and I hope I answered that for you. I'm so sorry it took so long to get around to answering that question for you. But that is commonly when we start pitching the products, girlfriends, okay? Thanks so much for joining me. I want to say hi to all my new subbies. I appreciate you coming on board. We are having a blast, girlfriends. I want all of you to stay sassy, classy, and confident. Give me a big thumbs up if you like this video. I love you and see you next week.